Yes, good morning, everybody. This is David.
Awesome. Good
Dave, we
morning,
have
guys.
James Brown, or we have not James Brown, Jason Brown. My name is Joshua, and we have David Novak, the creator. We are glad to assist you guys this morning. So if you guys are not subscribers and you're on this demo, please pay attention. Okay, at the end, we're going to show you how to try a free trial of Annuities Genius. And yes, that is for free. Okay. So today we're going to be going over the Annuities Database. Okay, we're going to go ahead and create a new client here. You can go right here and create a new client, or right on the front of the dashboard, you can just go to New Client. Okay, and we're going to use my favorite basketball player, as most of the time I do, Michael Jordan. I don't want to hear any complaining. He was the best. All right, we're going to say he lives in Illinois. We're going to change it up a little bit. 250,000 as an initial investment. We're going to say he's 59 years old. We're going to create the client, and we're going to see Michael Jordan's information now right here at the top. Now, there's a lot of things that you can do on Annuities Genius. I mean, there's over 15 tools. There's not one tool that's going to allow you to miss out on an annuities sale. But the Annuities dashboard, or the Annuities Database, is probably one of the most powerful tools, because it allows you to go into the other tools. And so, Jason, if you could, what are some advantages, of being able to, filter out, and, with one click of a button, you have specific factors to, find the best annuity for your client?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question, Josh. But first, on behalf of our director, David Novak, and the rest of our team here at Agatha Global Tech and AnnuitiesGenius.com, again, like Josh was saying, we just want to welcome everyone on our call today.
Yeah.
I know we've said this in the past, but we know that you value your time, who you spend it with, how you spend it. And so we don't take that lightly. The goal and the purpose, by the way, of these weekly calls is to continue to educate. And we are constantly trying to create and add value to you and your business, regardless if you're an agent, if you're an advisor, or if you're working for an institution, working for a firm, you're a marketer, and so on and so forth. We're always trying to add and create more value. So just, again, thank you for taking the time to be here. Josh, awesome question, though. So here's my thoughts. What are the advantages to be able to filter out with a click of a button, get specific factors, find the ideal annuity for a client? I mean, number one, I think everyone on this call would agree, time. It's a huge time saver. I can't stress this enough. You've probably heard us say this in the past. And those of you listening, maybe you've worked with the other pioneers in the industry prior to the Genius. Maybe you're working with 2 or 3 or 4 resources to try to get finally to where you want to go, right?
Right.
And it takes a lot of time, and it's stressful, to be frank. It gets a little stressful. It's time consuming. So first of all, I would just say anyone that's using the Genius knows how fast, how quick, lightning speed. Number 2, accuracy and precision. Literally, by filtering through, curating the data, filtering through, using the filters that take advantage of the filters. We'll talk about that more. It allows you to go through literally, and you're essentially trying to reach the destination on behalf of the buyer or the customer. We're trying to get to, right, ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to get to where is going to be the best annuity for this prospect.
Yeah.
That is our goal. We shouldn't know in advance, right? We should not know what carrier or what product is going to be ideal for that customer or for that husband and wife or whatever the case might be, right? Exactly. Each annuity case, we all know this, right? Every case presents different, unique circumstances. So where are you trying to go? You're on a journey with this prospect, this buyer. You're trying to get them to the destination, right? That's what you're trying to do. And you're going along with the ride. You want to get on the buyer side of the table. Yeah. So you're trying to save time, but you want to be accurate. It's got to be precise.
Yeah.
One of the things we've talked about this, guys, right, is one of the things I love about the filtering process is we can go through on our dashboard in any area here. We can go in and we can add what we want, or saying it a different way, we can remove what we don't.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, right? So we could go, okay, this is what we need. boom, boom, boom. This is what I don't want. I'm going to eliminate that for this specific case. I want to remove that. So filtering.
We're actually, and so I want to stop you for just 1 second. So I want you guys to see, you go to the annuities database right here. And we're going to, for the example, we're going to go to the fixed index database.
Perfect.
Okay. And you're going to see all these different products. You guys, this is not a spreadsheet. Okay. This is not, an Excel worksheet where you got to, just see one tab at a time. I mean, you can see the carrier's logo. You can see their allocation options. You can see their rider options if you have them.
Yeah.
I mean, this is very, very detail oriented. Okay. Now, if you're going through here and you have a client and let's say he's got qualified money, well, you can select qualified money.
Exactly.
Okay. If you have a client and he's got his money in a 401k, you can click on 401k. Okay. It does the work for you. And so, I mean, Jason, be honest with us. You've been in the industry for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How cool is it to be able to, one, produce your own client reports? You can do it with your company logo and you can do it instantly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I agree with you 100%, Josh. First and foremost, this feature is so cool. I love this feature with the Genius. Here's my thoughts. Everyone that's on this call today, especially in today's environment, we all know the competition is fierce as ever, right? It's as fierce as ever. And agents and advisors were not only competing against one another, they're also, all of you are competing against every other insurance or financial services company out there in a sense, right? Regardless if these companies, I mean, heck, we're even competing against companies that don't even offer annuities.
Right.
So, when you step back to your question, Josh, I love this question because if you step back and think about it, we have big banks, we have Wall Street, we have tons of other companies spending millions and collectively billions upon billions of dollars in advertising to build their brands, right?
Right.
So agents and advisors, especially if you're an independent advisor, you have a boutique firm or a practice, whatever the case might be, we know you're spending money too. You're trying to build brand awareness. You're trying to build your own brand in your own community, in your own area. So these reports, I think, as David always says, are beautiful reports, right? Which they are. They're awesome. But these reports, to make them look even better, they're going to pop even more. They're more professional. They're more personal. When you as a subscriber, when you're using your own logo and you're personalizing your information, your contact information to every annuity prospect or existing customer you're working with. And not only that, but we talked last week or a couple weeks ago, having the ability, the website, the private website, whether it's your picture, it's your mini bio, it's all that information collectively. But every time you're using the report, you want to take the time and make sure that when you're putting that person's information on there, we highly suggest when it's applicable, don't just put valued customer, right? Don't put valued client. We do that a lot for examples, of course. But if you actually are talking with someone, you want to try to personalize that as much as you can. Their name, their gender, of course, the state. I know that goes without saying, but I think the takeaway is the more personal it is, the better. Also, just to mention, we had a conversation about this before, but it's a great leave behind. It can create a call to action. It's a memory jogger. It's a mnemonic. It's also super easy for everybody to do on this call. So if you haven't done that yet,
and that's actually what we're gonna show you how to do right now. So here's what you can do with the annuities database. So like I said, you have a client here, Michael Jordan. He's 59 years old.
There you go.
We can say he's got qualified money out of his 401k. Now you can filter out for the allocations. Okay, if you want there to be no fees, no spread, uncapped, full participation, you can put those details in yourself. Okay, you can also select from pre-selected strategies.
So what we did with the strategies, just to put common sense, we see what the most usable strategies, and we pre-select them for you just to save you even more time to save you even a little more time. So we pre-select more strategies here for you. If you see some strategies missing that you guys using all the time, just shoot us an email and we will add them to select allocation strategies to this box just to make your job even quicker. Go ahead, Josh.
Exactly. And you can use, like, if you want S&P 500 annual point-to-point participation without fees, you just click it. Everything gets pre-filtered in for you, and then it shows you the best results.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Anytime that you want to reset that, you just click reset down here at the bottom.
yeah, and by the way, too, just in case, Josh, I want to remind all of the listeners. So the purpose of these universities on a weekly basis is a very topical and categorical. So we're trying to, we don't want to be a mile wide and an inch deep. We're trying to get specific. So every Tuesday we're doing a specific topic, and we really want to zero in on that. If you happen to be newer to the Genius and you're not exactly sure how to use the Genius, you're not comfortable with it yet, number one, please take advantage of the tutorials and the videos that are provided behind in the secure. Once you're logged in, you want to make sure you're taking advantage of all the training videos and tutorials. We have a library, and we're continuing to add to that. So not the purpose of this call, but I wanted to mention, I got a text here, and I also see we've got a viewer asking on the chat. So the other thing is, yes, so in the future, maybe Josh will use like our colored cursor or pointer.
Right.
I've got a couple people asking about
We'll take
that.
care of that, but
Go ahead, guys.
I do want to go
go for
over
it.
how to use the annuities database before we lose track of time here.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to stick with the qualified money 401k. All right. Now the sort by, this is very important. Now you can sort by fixed rates, participation rates, caps, and let's say you wanted to search by the bonuses. Exactly. Okay. That means that it's going to search and organize everything by the highest bonuses. Okay. Once this loads, you'll be able to see that it's searching by the highest bonus. Okay. If you want to search by the participation rates, it's going to put the highest participation rates up at the top. Okay. That way, without even thinking, all you have to do is sort by what your client is looking for. Okay. But let's stick with the fixed rates. Now, you have other filters down here at the bottom as well. Okay. If you wanted to come with a premium bonus, you can select has a premium bonus that's greater than 5%, 10%. You can do surrender periods. All right. You have account types. Let's say you just wanted point to point. Okay. You have account indexes. You guys, you have everything you need to do. You can filter out to find the best product for your client.
Exactly.
Okay? You want A ratings or higher, flexibility. You got it all. Now, once you put all the filters in for your client, okay, here's what you want to do. You want to find, most people, they don't want to give, the top 46 products to their client. It's just information overload. So what they do is either do top 10 or they do just top 3. I hear a lot of agents doing top 3. It's fine. Okay. So let's say you want to compare. You just click the compare button. Okay. You can compare up to 8 companies at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to do the top 3 here. Okay, now we can see these are highlighted in orange as we click them, and you can see them showing up in the side-by-side over here on the right, or on the left-hand side. Now we're going to click View, and now we can see everything side-by-side. And I know it says print, but what this really is it's just downloading it, and now you can send this in email, text message. It's just a PDF file. You have 3 products side-by-side for your client. Okay, now it doesn't stop here. Even though this is amazing, it does not stop here. Now what we can do is we're going to go back to our database. Now we see that this has 9 allocation options. It's a lot. I want to know what the best strategy is going to be. So we're going to go over here to the historian tool. Okay, it's in green. When you click it, it's going to take you to the historian tool, but check this out. It's going to show you all of the different allocation strategies that's going to be best for your client. Okay, and it's going to show you in a pretty cool looking graph too. You can see that this is allocating 100%, this is 50-50. It shows you the average rate of return for the 10 years, it shows you the best period and the lowest period. Okay, now just for example, we're going to choose this first one because it does have the 9.1% average. And it's going to give you a historical report. Okay, we're going to click the blue annuities details, and we're going to bring up the product sheet. Okay, the product sheet has the income, information like premium payments and age restrictions. We have the carrier's information with the
Product brochure too.
email. Yep, we have the product brochure, which you guys, you can click on the product brochure
It's amazing.
and you have the product brochure right there for your client.
Advisors love that, by the way.
Exactly. And I'm sure clients love it as well. And not only that, we can print out this entire product report. So that way we have everything there is to know about this product. Okay, it has a nice cover page with your client's name, your name, the date that it was prepared, all of the available states, all of the allocation options. Okay, if it had riders, which we're going to see here in a sec, this one doesn't, but there are some that do. You have all the information for your client. Now we're going to go back to the database because we're not done. Okay, that was just for one. This one has a rider on it. Okay, you can click down and let's say we want to go with, I don't know, this first one. They seem the same. Yeah, let's go ahead and click on, you can click on description. Okay, you can click on payouts. And you can click on calculate. Okay, when you click on calculate, it's actually going to take you to the rider calculator. Okay, and the rider calculator is only going to spit out that one that you chose.
Exactly.
Now, if you want to defer payments, let's say you want to defer payments for 10 years, drag it out to 10 years.
Yep.
And then we go over here and we click report. Now we have an income rider report for that product.
Exactly.
Okay, now we're going to go back to the database. And we're going to go back because this one has 5 allocation options. We're going to go to the historian.
Did you like the new change?
I did. We did change that. I do like the new change to it, of course. All the changes that we make, I'm just blown away by it.
Yeah.
Our programmers
It keeps getting better.
unbelievable. Okay, they're like true artists, I swear. All right, and we're going to choose this first one just because it has the highest average percentage. And again, we're going to follow the steps again. We're going to go to the annuity details. We're going to go to info. We're going to go to the product brochure. We're going to go back to the tab and we're going to print out the product report. And we're going to go back to the tab one more time and we're going to print out the historian report. Okay, so for all of them, we're going to print out the historian report, the product report. We have the side-by-side comparison. We have rider reports for them if they have riders. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Okay, we're going to do it one more time so I can show you guys. We're going to go to the historian. All right, we're going to choose an allocation strategy. Now, if you want, okay, let's say you don't want to pick from one of these predefined allocation strategies, you can go to custom.
By the way, the allocation strategies,
Yes.
that's a robot pre-selecting them for you, so you just save time. So the allocation, click on predefined.
Mm-hmm.
So the allocation strategy is the first one, and the second one, it's going to be the best allocations, best and back testing. The rest ones, 90-10, 80-20, all the rest of the stuff, is going to be pre-selected by a robot, a real AI robot that we built, which is pretty cool.
Which is
the beginning of the robot, by the way. We're building something really amazing next that we cannot discuss yet today, but imagine that you have a real robot in the bathroom or in the bathroom, wherever.
yeah.
And so again, we're going to do it. We're going to do it one more time. Okay, we're going to click the one that we want. We're going to go to annuity details. We're going to go to info. We're going to click on the product brochure. We're going to go back to print the report. And then we're going to go back one more time so we can print out the historian report. Okay, so you guys, within just, I would say, few minutes, we have the top 3 side-by-side comparisons for our client's specific needs.
By the way, look, he shakes your hand before he knows.
All right.
Absolutely.
And we have the product brochure. we have the product report, and we have the historian report, and the writer reports and the historian report for all of the companies and for all of the products that we just selected for our client.
And we also, I know we're not going into it in detail right now, but everyone that's looking at these reports will notice we're very, very particular about, disclosures. So everyone's going to see, you're going to see product descriptions. You're going to see product disclosures. It's all here. So even though we're not showing that right now, there we go.
Yep. That's a new little thing we just positioned here. So just click
awesome.
the payouts. Now you can see all the payouts right from here, and you can click on calculate.
Love it. Oh yeah,
This is
good.
pretty sick, man.
That is so good. I love that.
And you can change the issue age at the top, Josh.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal.
Yeah, and everyone probably knows, but guys, I think we should probably mention too. So like, if you're working on a joint case and you have, a spouse, you would have put that in your search. And so when you do the income comparisons, that's going to have all that there. So when you see that pop out that we just showed you, that would show you the same thing, but for the joint. So I just want to mention that.
Yeah, it's going to take you to the calculator with a click of a button. Let's go back.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, this is, again, you guys have a Ferrari at your fingertips. David says it all the time, and more every day I keep realizing this truly is just an amazing machine. Okay, if you're selling annuities, look, you can sell an annuity without Annuities Genius. I'm not going to lie. Okay, but why would you want to be, in the day that we have today, why would you want to be selling annuities without this tool? Okay, back in the day, yeah, you could still wash your clothes without a washer and dryer. Okay, you can have a washer board and you can get out there and you can scrub. Your clothes are still going to be washed. They're going to be clean, but we are living in a day where you have a washer and dryer. Okay, and if you don't have one, you have access to one that you can pay to use when you need to use it. Okay, Annuities Genius is going to allow you to save time. Okay, it's going to make you more confident as a salesman. Okay, because you have a tool at your fingertips that allows you to look like a genius. And trust me, you're going to become a genius. Okay, I guarantee you spend about 2 weeks focusing on trying to learn each and every tool. By the end of it, you are going to be a genius. Okay, Jason, can you explain to our listeners how important it is to show your clients, okay, that they're sorting the information based on what matters to them? Okay, what, not telling them, but rather showing them what matters to them. Can you explain how important that is in front of the client?
Wow. Yeah. That's an excellent question. Yeah, I guess this takes me back to one of my coaches or an influencer I had studied under early on in my career, Brian Tracy. So, I started, maybe perhaps some of you can relate. I started my career in the 90s. And back then, Brian Tracy, if you're familiar with Brian, he's a motivational public speaker, I guess a self-development author. I think he's authored over like 70 books or something crazy, translated into dozens of languages, right? But anyway, to get to the heart of your question, I love that question. He always would say, telling isn't selling. And he is so right. People today want to be in control. They want to be educated. They want to be part of that decision-making process, the buying process. In a sense, there's studies on this, okay? In a sense, they want it to become their own idea. And so what we're basically doing is when you're showing someone, not just telling them, and there's a process involved, it's evidence-based. It's not just theory, and there's buy-in. I guess as David says, transparency is paramount, right? Transparency is the key. So I would take it even a step further, Josh. I would say, not only that, those are my thoughts, but don't forget about Reg BI kicking in here at the end of the month, at the end of June. So you don't want it, at that point, and as we're moving forward, you don't want to just be able to show and tell. You want to be able to tell and show and document everything you're recommending. And so I know we're not covering that on today's call, but that's why we have the questionnaire and the tool that's already, baked into the cake. It's already part of your dashboard.
Exactly.
So you would want
It's very good that you mentioned that. Yesterday, it's kicked in for broker dealers, and January 1st, it's going to kick in for all the dependents agents and people like me and you. And here's our questionnaire, and we're going to improve that even better, but it's already functional, working. You just go through the questionnaire. By the way, it's going to help you qualify the prospect right away.
Exactly.
You don't have to talk anymore. You just, honestly, I'm actually happy with this new thing. It's actually qualifying and doing everything for you. And all you do is you already know all his answers, and you basically find you match him with the products based on what he needs. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think you and I are like on the exact same wavelength, because I think that, hey, everyone knows, right? All the changes we've seen, and you can either fight change or you can adapt and reinvent and go with the change and improve and take advantage of the opportunity. So every time there's a challenge creates opportunity. And so what David's saying, I love that, is this kind of becomes part of your sales process, folks, right? And we're doing it. Why? We're doing it because we have to, and we want to make a recommendation that's in the best interest of the client. So we're not going to cover that today, but that would be in your setup of how you set up going into the Genius when you have that part of your conversation, and then you go into the questionnaire. That questionnaire is literally going to help you find what's in the best interest for that client, but it's also going to document, so you can tell and show and document everything you're doing. And it's, by the way, it's automatically stored, if you're a subscriber using the Genius. So absolutely.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. So when you go to your clients, again, you're going to be comparing thousands of annuities every single time you sit down with a prospect. That's the new Reg BI best interest standard. But that's not it. You have to record keep everything.
Show them how to use this, please.
Okay. All you do is go to records.
That's it, Josh?
That's it.
I don't have to write this down and remember it?
No, you just go to records.
I like it.
Where's that file, Dave?
Right? It's right here. Click on it.
It's right there.
Boom.
Love it.
I like it.
Love it.
You guys, I mean, this is great.
And the fact sheets too.
It's great that your customers are able to see you filtering and sorting the information kind of based on what their needs are and not what your needs are. And that's probably what they're thinking. And being able to compare the best annuities side by side, I mean, it just seems like the icing on the cake to me. It really does.
Yeah.
I'm really proud.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it goes back to what we were just saying. It's like, well, telling isn't selling, right?
Yeah.
So when you're going through and you're showing side by side and you're running different comparisons, remember too that there's multiple ways to do this. So some of you, you do this by like different time frames, right? So you're comparing, for example, ABC company, and they have a 5, 6, or 8 and 10 year FIA. So you might show for that carrier that's ranking in the upper echelon, maybe you're showing side by side with the Genius, the 5-year, the 7-year, and the 10-year FIA. Or some of you though might come in, curate the data, do the searches, whittle it down to the top 10, top 5, whatever. But then you're going and you're showing that like product side by side. So there's multiple ways to do this. As we say, you're the captain, we're the crew. And so this software is allowing you're the captain. You decide, do I want to show, these 3 carriers? Do I want to show these 5 products, whatever it might be? And there's multiple ways to do that, either by surrender period, whether it's by type or whatever, and you're doing those side by side. Frankly, taking hundreds or thousands, of products and whittling it down to a few and putting it on a nice PDF that you can email or print and have on your screen, in your conference room, up on the wall, on the TV, on your monitor, in the mail, whatever the case is. Once you have that, it becomes more real. And now we can focus our conversation. We can narrow the lens. And now we're at that point in the conversation where we can say, okay, so, hey, I've taken this information. Here's a copy for you. We've whittled it down. We've done the research. Here's our findings. Yep. Right now we have that. Out of thousands, we started with a couple thousand as an example, and now we're down to these 3 or these 6 or whatever. I think that's just unbelievable. It's beyond icing on the cake.
Exactly. So here's what I want to do. I want to open this up to our listeners for questions. I know you guys probably have a ton of questions, and me, David, Jason, we are going to answer these questions for you. We are always available, so you can give us a call. Number is 949-600-7707. But for the next 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes, I want to open it up to the listeners. And if you guys have any questions, you can put it in the chat box, and we will answer them right here live.
Yeah, we've got some questions coming in. Yeah, so Neil, good question. Yeah, MVA, we're just making sure that we notate when there's a market value adjustment. So that's why you saw the MVA next to that product. If it has an MVA there, we're just, we're just indicating that it has an MVA in the product itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Well, Gary, I see that question. By now, you should see how it compares to other products, I believe. I don't have to answer that. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Does your software also include variable annuities? Yes, we building variable annuities funnel right now. But right now, we already have one tool that includes them. Josh, go ahead. You can click on Annuity Transition Tool. And you can compare variable annuity to fixed indexed annuity right from this tool. Next question. Where is it?
What's the number again? Yeah, so
we'll type it in the
yeah, we'll type it in the thing here.
So yeah, while you're doing that, we had a question. This is a great question. I love this question. Someone's asking, will it list or show how long the index and how long it has existed? I love that. Absolutely.
Okay,
if there's historical data on an indice or an index, we have it, and you can grab that information, and it's in several areas. So when you're in the indicator and or you're doing the historian and you come across an indice, it's not the S&P 500 that everyone's familiar with, or the Dow, right? Or the NASDAQ or something. And you want to look back and you're like, well, how long has that existed?
Just click on the question.
It's right there. Not only that, this blew me away the first time I saw it. There we go. Not only that is then you can click on the index and it will take you to wherever that index is. And if there's a ticker symbol, it'll literally take you to that. So you could actually be sitting down with a prospect talking about this BNP Paribas. What the heck is that? I've never heard of that before. Oh, it's an index from France, but here's what it is, and here's why it's pretty unique, and why we think it makes sense for some, of one of the strategies, perhaps, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, right? And then you can go back it up. Where is this from? What is this thing? Oh, yeah, I've heard of that before. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. So you want to be able to go to wherever that information is and have to be able to validate and verify, what you're showing, whether it's an index everyone's familiar with or not. Again, more transparency, the better.
Income rider. Somebody wants to see how you run illustration of the income rider. Mr. Goldberg, it's going to be so simple.
Yeah.
Watch my finger.
So you can see your client's information will populate in automatically. Okay. If you want to file for joint, you just put the spouse's age. You can look up a product or a carrier in the quick filter. We can filter out right here with A ratings or higher. All right. And then we defer payments just by dragging this back and forth. Okay. If you want to defer payments for 3 years, or you want to defer payments for 10 years. And you have your different categories. Okay. You have guaranteed riders, ones with increasing income, doublers. You have multipliers, and everyone's favorite, no fees. Yeah. Okay. And again, it's not a spreadsheet. You can see all of the carriers and their logos and all the information.
I hope you answer Gary's question. He wants to compare you for other softwares.
Well, we love
comparing.
Yeah, we definitely accept the challenge.
Woohoo!
All right, we're showing 39 riders in the report.
By the way, if you present report with 39 riders, click on it.
Yeah,
if you come to me and I'm a customer, I work all my life for Coca-Cola, I have $300,000, and you come in with and show me 39 riders, I know that I can trust you, number one, because you're not hiding under the desk.
Exactly.
You're not the products that pay you the most commission. You're unbelievably transparent with me, and I can make my own decision. And by the way, that's how I put my production from 0 to 20 million in less than 2.5 years, myself with my thick Ukrainian accent. No secrets. That's exactly how I do it. You work hard, and smart.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, the rider calculator is just amazing. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're looking for a rider that has enhanced payments for long-term care for your client, you don't have to go searching all over the internet.
Exactly.
You
Just
show
go
them
to
the hypothetical, right?
You go to the doubler category. Okay. Yeah, we also have another calculator here. It's a
It's called-
projected income calculator.
Yep.
All right. You can choose your allocation mode.
It's still a beta, but by July 4th, by the time it's going to be fireworks at 9 p.m., all the riders will be here. You have my word. We're building them every day. All the mathematical formulas coming on board on every morning basis.
Yeah. So we also the other thing is it's amazing.
Let's find Allianz 222 for a second. I want to see something. Here we go. Allianz 222. Click on show details, please. And here's the increasing income story right here.
Yeah, there we
Last
go.
column. How cool is that? Increasing income, a very powerful tool. So we are going to be putting all of them in here one by one. I believe this is my new baby right here.
So I was just gonna say, David, we're thinking alike again. I was just gonna say, if you're newer to the Genius or you haven't yet, one of the things you need to do this for yourself and you owe it to your clients is, inflation's real. We don't need to get into that conversation. But when you're doing the guaranteed withdrawals and you're showing income, we also have on here, what we're showing is you have the ability to show increasing. So if there's a multiplier, right? Or like Josh was saying, if you're looking at a convalescent care situation, you want a doubler, you can put in the data one time and get all of the results for all the different variations of the riders by all approved product and carrier based on age, gender, and state. And that is invaluable. I mean, how could you, if you're an advisor and you know that this information is now available,
Right.
I mean, how could you operate the old way? Like we've talked about that before, right? It's like, yeah, the carriers do a great job. They've got good brochures.
Well, people still, write a pony to work. It's okay. I understand. Yeah. I know how they don't want to change and they think they can be okay with this way. But let me tell you something. Change is good. Change is healthy.